is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
It is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to say thank you for making ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day. And remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast. And wherever you download your podcast, make sure that you leave us a 5-star review. That's why I said five times, make sure. Because so you can understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't, I don't even want to talk about what I'm going to do to you. But, I desperately want to talk about what we have going on today. I think Kyle Wright may have put himself in that Cy Young conversation. We'll talk about that along with Max Fried. And Arthur Smith has some very interesting comments, T. And I think he's trying to tell us something. And last but not least, and for the culture, I hate hot Atlanta. We'll talk about that. Before we get there, we have to talk about the Braves. Yesterday, they got a chance to go ahead and sweep the Pirates, not only for this particular series, but for the entire season. I'm talking about 7 games worth. Absolutely love it. Beat the dog mess out of bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do really good. And I think that with Cal, on display tonight, T, and then run support, 14-2 was the final score. And you get Matt Olson hitting the grand slam. I think everything was just working last night.
And go ahead and just make some history, why don't you, Matt Olson? Your own personal history, because that's the very first time that he has ever played in that particular stadium or in Pittsburgh. And boy, oh boy, did he ever make it work for himself. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing to see him just get that barrage going, and for the Braves just to say, of course, you have William Contreras kind of kick it off early, but in that particular inning, that 4th inning, if you will, 5 runs, and then they go later on, I believe it was the 8th inning with 7 runs. It's just the craziness of it.
Yep.
But that goes to, like you said, this is a reminder that when you need to take care of business with these types of teams, go ahead and just do what you need to do and keep it moving. And that's exactly what we saw from the Braves last night, and also from Kyle Wright. Amazing performance, like lights out. Just like we said the night before, Max Fried could have gone for a complete game. Kyle Wright probably could have gone for a complete game as well last night. But yeah, just amazing to see what he's been doing, not just last night, but this entire season.
Now, according to ESPN, T, they got their little rankings as far as Cy Young predictors in the National League. So right there sitting at number 2 with the second best odds in the National League, Kyle Wright. He had 16-5, and I think that one of the things that I would just kind of looking at the numbers is going to be really hard for the voters to kind of not to go ahead and vote, give him the nod to get that Cy Young, because we're looking at probably like 36 games left in the season. That kind of roughly, I did a little math, and that roughly ends up being maybe about between 6 or 7 starts for Kyle Wright if they remain on the 5-man rotation. Right. So that's plenty of opportunities to go ahead and get that 20 games. So I think the way he's pitched, like you said, and it was just masterful. Like, he was just mowing cats down like left and right, and you just look at has like 144 strikeouts on the season. The number 1 guy for the Dodgers is Tony Gosselin.
Right.
If you're just looking at the numbers and everything, just from a dominant standpoint, Al really has a good shot at getting this bad boy.
Yeah, I think so as well. And when you look at the fact that he literally had it was crazy. Like, he would pitch 3 times and you look up and it's like, oh, okay, that guy's out. Okay, then he pitches three more times and that guy's out. And before you know it, he's getting 21 outs with 71 pitches.
Ridiculous.
That just defies logic.
Right.
It just defies logic straight up. And I hate that, there were even, and this is me being greedy, of course, but I hate that there were even 2 runs given to the Pirates last night.
Right.
Don't even, just keep your foot on their necks completely. And I would have loved to have seen Kyle Wright go for the complete game. But we always talk about Brian Snitker seeing strategy and playing the long game. And I'm sure that's what that was about, especially because this is a Kyle Wright who's coming off of a nice break after that Red Sox series, right? Give his
Right.
arm a couple breaks, a little bit of a break because there were, just a couple days needed there because not so much soreness, but really just letting that arm rest as you look forward to the postseason. But yeah, man, he and Tony Gonsolin is like neck and neck as far as the actual, as far as some of the stats. But when you look at strikeouts, interesting. Kyle Wright has more, 144 strikeouts. Literally, the closest to him in strikeouts would be Sandy Alcantara, another viable candidate.
Definitely.
Yes. And
For
Max
that bad
Fried,
team he plays for,
our
yeah.
other guy. So isn't
Yes.
that interesting that two of the top three pitchers as far as striking out batters reside right here on the Braves team, and Kyle Wright is right up there. One more thing that was interesting to tell you how powerful that performance was last night. When Jarvis and I started looking at these numbers yesterday because we wanted to see where Max Fried was, and we said, oh, wow, we see Kyle Wright, of course, there, and Kenley Jansen was there as well. But yesterday, Kyle Wright was about in the middle of the pack of the top 10 as far as the ESPN kind of StatCast, if you will.
Right.
Kyle
I think
Wright
it's like
number
6.
two now.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, they saw what we saw last night. That's for sure. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see how this thing kind of plays out. But
Yes.
also been interesting as far as how this Deion Jones is going to situation is going to change, play out for the Atlanta Falcons. But before we get there, tell them how the people can they maybe put some not Kyle Wright or Max Fried and can get a good make some good money for betonline.net.
Yeah, you definitely can because listen, they're in the top 10 as you see. Kyle Wright is trending up as the potential Cy Young winner for the National League this year. So if you want to bet and you want to see how close, how the odds are changing, how the over under is, or where the line is, go to betonline.net because that's your source for all your betting needs and sports info. And you can find out all the latest sports developments, league reviews, all kinds of info because they also give you information in case you are maybe someone who's new to this and kind of jumping into betting. They have podcasts that will help you with this information as well. Or let's just say it's week 0 for college football. There are actually games being played starting tonight in college football. And one of them is right here in Atlanta. That's Howard University and Alabama State University in the MEAC SWAC Challenge on Saturday. Want to put some money on the SWAC possibly finally getting a dub in that challenge because they haven't in a couple years. You want to know about it? A website like betonline.net might just be able to help you. So, of course, always stop by online ATL Day Ones first, and then your second stop, make it betonline.net because that is where the game starts.
Yes, indeed. And we'll see whether or not Deion Jones will be starting on Saturday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've had some very interesting comments to say about Deion Jones and his return to the team. He doesn't seem all too excited about it, T. I can tell you that much. But I think one of the things that I thought was interesting that he said is that he's basically going to have to compete for a spot. And Jones was asked about that after practice yesterday, and basically he said, hey, I have to compete for a spot every year I've been on this team. And he said, I'm cool with that. It is what it is. See, that's the one thing about certain players. Like, they'll give you the standard, stereotypical answer to something like that, but you already know that it's something there when they end it with, it is what it is. It's something with this situation. It's more to it than what we see yesterday because we already know that I know Deion Jones pretty well. I'm not saying I know him personally, but I know how he is when it comes to certain things. And I think that he's taking this personally. I think he feels like he has something to prove. And I think Arthur Smith feels like, hey, we don't need you. And I think they're just kind of playing nice until something gets done.
Yeah, and you absolutely have to play nice because you need to get him on the field so that you can showcase that he is indeed healthy to potentially trade him away. That's just the reality of the situation. And Arthur Smith is one who does not pull punches. He's very direct with the media when he can be, and other times he'll just let you know if he can't speak on it. So the fact that he spoke on that being a competition and, hey, Deion, come out there and basically show me what you got, and he's probably going to be playing the game Saturday. I thought that was interesting as well because I'm like, okay, let's look at the other stalwart on defense, the other veteran. Did anybody say Grady Jarrett? Let me show you Show us what you got. No.
Hell no.
Okay. Did anybody say there was competition for Grady's job?
Hell no.
And yet, all of a sudden, there's competition in the linebacker room for Debo.
Yeah.
I think not. But like you said, I believe whether he's going to want to show his worth in case the Falcons retain him, or whether he's going to show his worth elsewhere, maybe Dallas. Definitely, I feel like Deion Jones. And again, it's not that he can't land anywhere. It's not that he's not still a viable player. It just doesn't fit in this system. But on that same token, A, I can see why my homeboy would take it personally. And B, I can see why he displayed that. But C, those words, it is what it is, speaks volumes because usually Deion Jones is very vanilla in his commentary. And that to me was not a vanilla statement.
Not at all. I mean, you have to understand it from where he's coming from. Hey, I'm a $20 million linebacker, a $20 million a year linebacker. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play nice, but best believe I'm gonna do me. And I don't have you don't have to send me a message. I think that's kind of what that says to me if I'm interpreting it the right way. Now, one last quick thing on this. I thought it was kind of interesting. Deion was asked about whether or not he was gonna play special teams and will he be okay with that? And he was like, I'm perfectly fine. And he just left it like that. I'm just like, T, I don't know about you, but like this just reeks of it was too perfect of a press conference yesterday. And I think that there's something there, and I think what we thought this was is exactly what it is.
Agreed. Because he didn't really answer the question. He just said, I'm perfectly fine, which sounded to me like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here so
y'all gonna have to pay me if y'all keep me.
There you go. That's what I heard. Now, don't get me wrong. Jarvis and I are not speaking for the Falcons organization, but Jarvis didn't ask me about them. He asked me what I thought. And that's
Yes, indeed. And last but not least, before we move on, we got to talk about Rhyne Howard officially being named the Rookie of the Year. T, I don't know about you, but I am not surprised at all about this.
ATL, hit the gritty for your girl. You know Rhyne Howard loves to hit the gritty after a win. So this is huge for her. Of course, she got the nod from the AP a couple weeks ago. Excited. But, I mean, listen, 4 straight Rookie of the Months. What do you expect?
Yeah, what else is there? Yeah.
But more importantly, Jarvis, I think it's an exciting time for the Dream organization. She is one of the main reasons that they trended up and really exceeded expectations this year. And also, you look at what she was able to do. We know from covering all the sports in this city that the number one pick does not always pan out to be who you thought he or she was going to be. This one is the real deal.
Yes, she's the real deal. And we've been hearing a lot of conversations about Desmond Ridder potentially being a real deal, but Arthur Smith has some very interesting comments to say about his rookie quarterback. We'll turn on our translators again. Don't go anywhere. This is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to ATL Day Ones. I'm Tenitra, that is Jarvis, and we appreciate you guys for being exactly who you are, our number one supporters, our ride or dies. And how do we know? Because you guys continue to download this podcast wherever you download your podcast and give us 5-star reviews. That's what you keep doing. We appreciate you. And of course, appreciate you guys going to YouTube and getting us over that 3,000 hump. We are 3,000, 3,100. Almost 3,200 and counting for the Locked On Sports Atlanta Network. So again, appreciate you guys for that. And listen, we always appreciate the fact that Jarvis and I have not really had to put on our coach speak translator hats in a couple seasons. But there was some interesting commentary that came out of Flowery on Wednesday that we thought, this might be a reason to dig a little further. So I'm going to give you a quote, Jarvis, from Coach Arthur Smith on Desmond Ridder, and you have to tell me what exactly do you think it means. Okay, here we go. So we're going to be hard on Desmond because he's a good player, and he can take that kind of coaching. That's what Falcons coach Arthur Smith said after the Jets game. He understands, meaning Ridder, we're not waiting on him as a rookie, like we're trying to speed him up. What is that about?
the first thing that came to mind when I read or when I hear this quote is, what you mean by that? What you talking about, Willis? Like, okay, why do you want to speed him up? That's the first thing. That's the second question that comes to mind. So when you think about that, I believe that if you look at the first part of that, he said he's a good player. So he understands, they understand, the Falcons understand what they have in Desmond Ridder.
Yes.
And I'm thinking I'm almost kind of on board with how they feel about him as well. I just feel like I need to see it just a little bit more. I want to see some more in-game action from him before I kind of jump on that bandwagon. Lord knows how I felt about Ridder before coming into the season. But I think that when you hear a head coach who is also the play caller as well, say something like that, I can't help but to think that at some point he wants to be able to say, you know what, if I put Desmond Ridder in this game, more than likely I'm going to get exactly what I'm getting from Marcus Mariota, and there's potential for growth there. And that's what you want to see, because essentially, you know, we heard all the comparisons with Desmond Ridder coming to the league. His pro comp was Marcus Mariota. Yes. So I think that if there's a potential for you to get the same exact thing that you can get from Marcus Mariota, veteran who's been in the league for 7 years or so, I think that that's a no-brainer. For me, as a coach, if I was, being a coach, I'm thinking, like, if I can get the same thing I can get from a rookie, might as well go and get the rookie so I can get him in there, get that necessary experience, and then shut up all these conversations about the Falcons drafting C.J. Stroud in 2023.
Right. And I really like the comment as well, because, we saw, and a lot of people replayed the video of Coach really going in on Desmond during the game. But
Yes,
what I loved about it is Ridder bounced back like it was nothing and just kept it moving. So he can receive that feedback and then actually put it into action sooner rather than later. And that's what you need to see. You need to see that maturity that we all thought we saw when we met him first on draft night and then, in rookie mini camp or what have you. But now we're in a game day situation, regardless of if it's preseason, it's still coming at him quickly, right? And he was able to take that and do something with it. So I thought that was very good, especially because I felt like the game actually slowed down just a bit for him from game 1 to game 2. And that goes back to what we all thought from the beginning, which is this is a highly intelligent guy with a very high football IQ that is eager to show it and is eager to kind of learn and grow. So when I look back at that, Arthur Smith is no nonsense. And I think it actually pleases him that he's got a guy that can receive that and keep it moving, and a guy that's not afraid for his progression to be sped up, as opposed to say, okay, we're going into the season knowing that this guy is going to literally ride the pine all 17 games. But speaking of that, if you're riding the pine, that means you are not the number one and you are not the best. But we know on this show that Coffee AM is the best, and our king of Coffee AM will let you know why.
Kang here, coffeeam.com/locked on. That is the website. Now I'm about to tell you why you need to go there. Now, I've always talked about how I get up early in the morning. I like to get my workout on. So when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you need a little pick me up. I got the perfect scenario. When Coffee AM sent that little care package to the house, the first thing that I opened up to was those Kenya K-Cups. Oh my goodness. You talking about taking a trip to Africa in the morning? Woo! Might make your head blow up. I absolutely love it. It is one of the best small batch coffee roasters in the entire country. I need you to understand what I just said. Best small batch coffee roaster in the entire country. I barely could even say it. You see how I messed up? Almost messed up on that bad boy. But I think this is something that you need to go check out, right? Because they got all type of, coffees, teas, and gift sets. And, Coffee AM has a very special deal that they're doing just for you as a listener and viewer. So listen up. You see my voice now. It's starting to change. So that means you need to pay attention and put your ear closest to the speaker or closer to the TV screen as you possibly can. Go to coffeeam.com/locked on and drop in the coupon code box locked on, and you're going to get 15% off your first purchase. That's just for you. That's the special just listening to us and watching us. What else is there to do? So I know your soul. So I know once you finish listening and watching us, Go to coffeeam.com/locked on, drop in the coupon code box locked on, and you're going to get 15% off. And go ahead and pull up on the best small batch coffee roaster in the entire country.
And yeah, like Jarvis said, it's a no-brainer to go after Coffee AM, but a head scratcher with something we both read and kind of said, okay, maybe we need to understand the definition of success. So, of course, like we have told you guys, this is list season for at least another 2 or 3 weeks.
At least about a week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can start
until
throwing
the
them out in a week and a half.
starts and until the NFL season starts as well. So we're going to hit you guys with some lists or some reactions to lists. Now, our friends over at ESPN dropped an article just yesterday about the 5 teams in the league that were going to regress, including my beloved Steelers. So forget you. Also the Titans, as well as the Falcons. Now, we're here to talk about the Falcons and not my beloved black and yellow. Now, the Falcons, the guy said, Barnwell said, they were a competent team with terrible luck in 2020, but then going back to 2021, he said they had incredible luck in getting to 7-10 because of things like the fact that no 7-win team in the history of the league, heck, no 6-win team when it was 16 games, had ever posted a worse point differential. And that was literally, they were outscored by 146 points or 8.6 points per game. However, this was the interesting thing that I thought for me, Jarvis, and again, you guys, hey, we appreciate you guys dropping your comments in the comment section. Let us know what your thoughts are. He actually said that he thought that this season was going to be worse for the team because he feels like at the end of the day, and he uses like this geometric Pythagorean theorem, by the way, for his expectation. This expectation for a team that falls an average of 2.3 wins. So that's his gauge, right, Jarvis? That that the Falcons are going to, because of the loss of Matt Ryan, because of the uncertainty of what the O-line is going to be, et cetera, that this team is not even going to make it to 7 wins this year. Here's my question, Jarvis, because we don't have to always talk about it in terms of wins or losses, but what would be your definition of success? If it's not wins, well, what is it?
You know what? I go back to the comments that Arthur Smith made when he started talking about, hey, we got to speed up this process. I'm not going to treat you like a rookie quarterback. I'm going to be hard on you. Yeah, and I see that you can take that, so I'm going to continue to be hard on you so you can be better and do what I need you to do. And what defines success for the Falcons in 2022? If they find out that Desmond Ridder can be the face of this franchise for the next 10 years, look out. Because here's why I say that. Because Arthur Smith is a very good play caller. The reason why I say that is because he puts his quarterbacks in situations where it's easy. The open man is going to be easy to find because his scheme, he gets guys. That's why I say the running game is going to be so important for them this year. If they're able to get that going, and then they can do the play action and getting those rollouts. But that's why they wanted the mobile quarterback, so they can get them on the edge of the defense. Because when you got a mobile quarterback and you have a decent running game, it just opens up the offense for you, and it puts the defense on their heels because – you know, you get into a point where essentially it's one read and go. Like if it's not there, boom, check down or take off running. And guess what taking off running does? That helps your running game. So it's just so many different factors that Arthur Smith puts into place when you have a mobile quarterback this year. So I think that if the Falcons find out that, you know, Desmond Ridder is that guy, the Falcons going to be on to something because I think Arthur Smith is an excellent play caller, and I think he understands his roster makeup, and he uses it accordingly each and every Sunday.
Right. And I think success would also be defined by if the defense makes incremental steps based on where they were last year. And we all say can't get any worse than 18 sacks, right? But I'll dig down a little bit deeper because it's not always just about sacks. Are we getting pressure to the quarterback, right? Is the quarterback getting hit? Is the game plan and the scheme of Dean Pease, which now he said he can go into the treasure chest and use all 100% of what he has there, does that alter the game calling of the other team, whether it's that team in game or whether it's the teams going down the road, because the talent has shown that they're able to do what he wants them to do. And again, no offense to Deion Jones, because certainly we don't know if he's going to stay or if he's going to go. But now that Dean Pease has slowly but surely shifted to a different kind of linebacker in the 3-4 scheme that he primarily uses as base, but we know, of course, that he hybrids everything. So there's that.
Indeed.
I think that if we can just see the numbers uptick higher, if you will, and show that, hey, he's got the talent that we think he has, then it goes back to what you said. That gives the opportunity for the offense to do what they want to do as well. So that kind of works hand in hand, because if that defense is getting after the quarterback and doing what it's supposed to do, or even stopping the run game, then that gives the offense an opportunity not to be on its heels where it's coming back from some type of big time deficit where you're seeing them outscored at the end of the season by 146 points. So when we come back, speaking of things that we like, things that we want to see, and what we think is actually the definition of success, we will talk to you guys about that. And we'll talk to you guys about something that makes us really happy here in the ATL. It'll be in For the Culture.
Final segment of ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to say thank you for rocking with us throughout the entire show. We really appreciate you. Remember, y'all, I'm always going to remind y'all of this. We are free and available on wherever you download your podcast. And wherever you download your podcast, make sure that you give us a 5-star review, because we're thanking you in advance, because you have no other choice but to let everybody know how great we are. This is For the Culture. It is the intersection between sports, entertainment, and the culture, and sometimes whatever we want to talk about, because that's just how we get down on this show. This story is no different. Now, the San Francisco Giants play at Oracle Park. And, they sell team merchandise in the store and everything like that. And there was one person that was kind of perusing through the store, kind of seeing what's going on. And then they kind of looked at the bottom level of the little clothing rack, and they saw a shirt that had that red San Fran on the front of it. Now, for those of you saying, okay, why does that matter? That matters because San Fran was voted the most hated term, how you reference San Francisco, the city of San Francisco, and people kind of even went into why that's the case, because essentially it tells the people, when you're in the city, it tells the people that you're a tourist or you're not from around there, and people just absolutely hate it. And I think I kind of akin that to Hot Atlanta. I absolutely hate when people say Hot Atlanta, because it's just like it's so 90s. And then even back in the 90s, I didn't even say it, because it's just like, yeah, when people say Hot Atlanta back then, that's basically, a billboard lighting up saying, hey, rob me. I'm not from around here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you put yourself in danger and you're saying a term that everybody hates.
Yeah, and we have a similar situation in New Orleans, because you may see it in writing as Nolans, N''AWLANS. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. Most of us say New Orleans, okay? Some people say New Orleans. We all pretty much say the NO, and we all now call it NOLA, which stands for New Orleans, Louisiana, right? Those are the 4 things you can say if you are in my fair city. You can even call us the Crescent City, because that's kind of old school, but we'll let you slide. Don't you ever go there and start saying, oh, God, I'm so excited. Man, Nolans is what? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not highway robbery. But
Right.
as soon as these people hear you in New Orleans, oh, God, it's going to be on and popping. And you're going to be, you're going to find out today in the bad way what New Orleans really is. Yeah, so watch your mouth when you go to the city. Just saying.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting too, because all my years I was told that San Fran was fine.
Right.
That
Okay.
Frisco was the worst one, right? But apparently,
Frisco, yeah, definitely.
yes,
Yeah. I can
apparently
see
the
that.
only thing they like is SF. Literally, is either San Francisco or SF. The end.
Really? Wow. And I thought that the one thing that kind of give you a kind of peek into it, because one of the reporters, that had asked the employee at the store about, can they speak to somebody in reference to the San Fran shirt, and the employee said, yeah, you're going to have to refer to the San Francisco Giants PR department. I was like, oh, yes, that's how you know it's an issue. It's a real issue when they said, yes, please refer to the people that are professionals in answering questions about certain stuff that people don't like.
Yes, exactly.
That's almost like, let me speak to your manager. Oh, you know what time it is. It's about to go down.
Right, exactly. Or it's like the employee, whatever the name of the store is, they have no comment. Oh, one more question for you though, Jarvis. As a native of Atlanta Metro, are people allowed to still say the A or ATL?
We can say ATL day ones, yeah. Notice I didn't say you can say the ATL. Yes.
Right.
No, that is god awful. Like, can I give a peek into the background of the origin of our show? Can I get to the folks? Yeah, so I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna bring y'all in, right? I'm gonna bring y'all in. When we were putting this show together, and I started having conversations with the our PR people about what the name of the show is gonna be, and they recommended ATL, and I was just like, ugh, like I don't like I am Atlanta, like that's how I look at myself. So I don't have to say ATL. Like if I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say it Atlanta, like with no T's. Take out all the T's. That's what.
Here we go.
No pun intended. There, I would never take you out, Tenitra. You know what I'm saying? You my people, you my folk, you my day one. So yeah. So, but I think that once they kind of explain to me, like, okay, I can kind of get with it. Then they add the day ones in there, and I was just like, all right, I can. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question, the ATL as a standalone, absolutely not. The A, absolutely not. So go ahead and say Atlanta. Say Atlanta. That's cool. And then, depending on what side of town you're on, you can pronounce the first T, Atlanta. Or you can say Atlanta, ALANNA. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I get down with that. But, yeah, I don't have any problem with Atlanta or Atlanta or Atlanta. None of those. But, yes, the ATL, absolutely not to you.
Okay.
All right, sis, we're going to move on from that topic because I seem like I might be a little bit touched by that subject. I'm a little triggered about that. I don't know where that came from. I'm feeling myself today. All right, now, today is, let's look on a happy note. Today is National Burger Day, T. I want to kind of throw two things at you, right? Now, and I answer after I get yours. Now, you got your fast food burger go-to, right? Yeah. Fast food burger go-to, and then you got your fufu. I may want to spend about $10, $12 on a burger. Now, which one? Which place? What's your go-to for the fufu burger, and what's your go-to for the fast food burger?
Okay, so fast food ish.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay. Yes, that is an excellent choice. Yes. I agree.
Yes. With an honorable mention to Bobby Cheeseburger, by the way. But anyway,
yes. Flowery Branch.
That's our other one.
Bobby's.
Yes. Whenever we are up covering the Falcons, Jarvis and I, make no mistake, we will always pit stop at Bobby Cheeseburger. Yes. So yeah, I had to give that an honorable mention. But yeah, when I kind of do the bougie burger, then it's probably going to be like a J. Alexander. I like their bougie burger.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the ones I want to check out, Jarvis, because I've heard so much about it, so maybe we'll, tell the guys on the other side of this weekend, is Holman and Finch. I've heard a lot about Holman and Finch, so that's a little bit more, like a gourmet burger. But yeah, I'm excited about that one. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand.
Yeah, that's an excellent choice. Like, if I'm going for my fast food, there's nothing ish about this one. I like the Steak and Shake burger. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just, of course, it's a little smallish, so that's why I get the triple when I really want to be fat. But I like it's solid. It doesn't cost that much, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get me a solid burger. I'm gonna get me a Steak and Shake burger. But when you talking about that fufu, T, I gotta go, man. Oh, it's just kind of brings back the memories of everything. But I have to go with the Holman and Finch. I've had the burger from there.
So you have.
It is absolutely delicious. It's probably one of the best burgers you'll probably eat in the city if you go down there. So yeah, I definitely rock with them all the way.
Oh, cool, cool. So, yep, see, I got the cosign because that's one I've been interested in, but haven't had that opportunity to kind of go in on. So, yeah, I definitely want to check out Holman and Finch. And as you guys know, Braves are off today, well deserved day off, and they'll get back to it tomorrow as they get ready for a 3-game set against the Cardinals. So, we'll talk about that. We'll preview that. And also, Jarvis and I are going to preview Falcons, Jags for you and anything else that's hitting in sports in Atlanta. Tomorrow, we'll talk about that as well. Of course, stop by ATL day ones as your first stop, and then let your second stop be A to Z with Mark
God,
Zinno. You gotta love us.
so petty.
We
Gosh,
are. So
please
very
come
petty.
back.
That's
This
why
is
you
all.
come back.
Please don't leave us.